So Kate, what are the top 4 considerations in determining how to treat public library employees equitably?
Well, I mean, there's obviously way more than 4, so we'll try and limit it to just the 4 things that I think are most important. I think the first thing that you have to think about is actually about yourself first. We all bring different experiences to the table. We all have different lived experiences, past experiences, different backstories. And so with those come inevitably different biases and ways of looking at the world. So the first thing, in order to treat employees equitably, is you have to realize in yourself the biases that you hold and acknowledge that those exist and think about how you can push back against those. Because in order to be equitable, it isn't enough to be like, well, I think it should all be equitable this way, because you're bringing your own lived experience to it. So 1, it's about you first, and then 2, don't assume that you know what equitable means for employees. I think as directors, we sometimes fall into the trap of thinking that like we know all of the answers, and the best thing to do to treat employees equitably is ask what they want. I know it's a novel concept, but asking people what they want is a really helpful way of finding out what they need in order to feel engaged and happy at work. And then once you know that, you can then look to see how you can make things equitable. I think that, I know that's only 2, but those feel like 2 really massively big ones. And so I'm gonna cheat on the last 2, the 2 things to put, one of which is a huge debate in libraries, and that is that we revere the MLS. And I have an MLS. I think the MLS was very valuable, but I think that we revere it to the point that we don't always see the other valuable skills people bring. And that prevents us from being equitable across our organizations, because we have said this is the most important thing when people bring a lot of different skills and a lot of value in a lot of different ways. So recognizing the value in different skill sets would be the 3rd. And then for the 4th thing, I would say, there's so many more I want to add. I'm going to try and pick just what I think the top 1 is. I would say that the 4th thing is to constantly ask yourself, is this equitable? Each time you update a policy, each time you're rolling something new out, you can't just assume it's equitable because it was equitable in the past. The world changes. So we need to be in a constant state of asking ourselves, is this equitable? Is it still equitable? How can I make it more equitable? Because oftentimes you can't fix everything in one go. And so it's a series of incremental changes over time. So those are going to be the top 4. There's millions more though. I could talk about this for an hour, but I know I don't have that kind of time, so I'm going to stop there.